And so when we did our first event together, she knocked it out of the park, and we said it was a Success Finder event. It was really a Laurel event, let's be honest. But anytime anyone hears her in real life, they walk away a better person. They walk away more fulfilled. They understand themselves better. They understand their clients better, the people that are working with them, not for them. And so it is my honor to introduce my family member, my Pew Pew partner for life, Pew Pew, Laurel, Portie. Everyone stand up and give Laurel a big hand.
Oh man, how do I follow that? I think we can all go home, right? Yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here. It's hard to believe that it has already been a little over 5 years that I have been inside this business doing this. And, you know, it's because of you guys, right? And so I just wanted to say thank you to that. So I want to open up with like one of my favorite stories. Who here is a fan of The Big Bang Theory? Right? Zinga. So I think this is going to be super valuable for you guys to understand what we're actually doing here. So you guys know I worked in television. I had just gotten to Dallas, CBS in Dallas, Texas. And The Big Bang Theory was a brand new show about science. Who the hell wants to watch a TV show about science, right? And it did okay, right? It was an okay show. It was doing okay in ratings, but it wasn't that hit, right? Does anyone remember what happened in 2007? I'm looking at my TV people. Do you guys remember what happened in 2007? It just actually, it's happening right now, yes. What happens to a brand new television show just on the air without an audience? Like a big audience, right? You're pretty much dead in the water, right? Because people are going to forget about you. People are just, you know, and already it was just an okay show. And this is, remember, you have to remember, this was way before Netflix and all of these streaming services. This is 2007, right? And so they're all thinking, oh shit, we're going to get canceled. But CBS ponied up, and what they did was they had that show on repeat in as many places as possible, right? They couldn't air anything new because of the writer's strike. And so they put the show, they made sure that airlines were showing it on the plane. They made sure that it was on repeat, like overnight, like any time that people could watch TV, they had this television show on repeat. So people who had never even thought about watching it were forced to watch it on a plane. They were forced to watch it in these certain places because there was nothing else on. What do you think happened? It became one of the best television shows of all time. Do you think that it would have became the cult classic that it is now if that strike would have never happened? But because CBS put that television show everywhere, it is now one of the best television shows of all time. And so I thought that that would be a great example. You guys are going to hear a lot of television examples because that's what I know. But that's what I want you guys to see for you, right? Like people think of ads as, I'm going to give Facebook $1 and get $2 out. That's not the way that I see advertising because of my television background. And so inside this book right here, you're going to hear my whole story. I have literally drawn out every single framework that you guys are going to need to leave this event being able to implement something. If you guys do not leave this event with complete clarity on what you need to do, then I have failed. And so over the next 2 days, we are going to workshop the shit out of what's in here so that you guys can go home and actually put it to work. Because I have seen this strategy work, not just in my business. I started running ads for CBS in 2008. I was one of the very first people to actually use Facebook advertising. The strategy that is in this book, and as a matter of fact, I have it outlined, my very first ad strategy working for CBS and how I actually stacked it, what now you guys know as power content in my entire ads ecosystem. It was not an ads ecosystem to sell a business. It was an ad strategy to sell TV. So that's what I bring that's a little bit different, right? Because a lot of you guys probably bought my program and you're like, I've never seen ads laid out like this. Like, where's all the conversion campaigns? Why don't I have to spend $10,000? This book is called Super Duper Profitable Ads. We're on our way to $3 million now. Who wants to guess how much an ad spend I've spent so far? Not even. now. Would you guys say that's super duper profitable ads? Okay, so who's excited? Who's excited to actually start implementing this, right? I wanted to make it my mission to bring an affordable way for people to run ads, because one of the very first things that I realized, and you'll read all about it in here, but one of the very first things that I realized after going live and teaching this ad strategy that I was doing for the list here, shot in Phoenix, I decided to go live and just show people how to do these $5 ads that I was using to build up our audience for, the TV show I worked on with Shannon and Eve and Suzanne right here. We all worked on a television show here in Phoenix. And the exact same ad strategy, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live one day. They probably remember me going live 5 a.m. in the morning, bedhead rolling out, nothing fancy, teaching ads. And one of the things that I quickly found out was that people had this belief that they had to spend tens of thousands of dollars on ads. I was running $5 ads for the TV show. Why wouldn't it work for everyone else? And it did. So that's good news for all of us, right? Because everyone sitting in the room right now, whether you think it or not, yes, your space is super saturated, but it's super saturated with people who are not doing this. Everyone in this room still has an opportunity, right? The best time to start running ads was 5 years ago. The second best time is right now, because this is not going to get cheaper. It's not going to get easier. But who wants to tell me, not my TV people, because they already know, how much does a 30-second spot cost to run on television? Depends on prime time, about $2,000 to $3,000 for a 30-second spot. Do you know how many eyeballs with that same $2,000 to $3,000 that you can get over and over and over to a targeted audience? We're going to talk about targeting here, because I know a lot of you guys have anxiety around targeting. So, yesterday, Lucas showed this diffusion of innovation, right? Who here is familiar with my ads ecosystem? I'm pretty sure almost everyone, right? Okay, cool. We don't have to go into detail about that, but we will. We'll do some workshopping. Does anyone want to tell me, not Victor, because Victor is my rock star student. He knows everything I do by heart, so he knows this. Who wants to guess which ads in the ecosystem actually fall into here? Think about it. Innovators, early adopters, early majority. Yeah. Right? Those 2 to 3% of people who are ready to buy right now. Boom. Yes. Who wants to guess where the power content? Who is the power content for? Nope. Do you guys see how big? Do you see how big that is? So that's whenever you guys come to me and I'm not getting any sales from my power content. Is power content meant to get sales? No, it's meant to start building this so that by the time you've exhausted these two audiences, you have a huge warm audience who already knows, likes, and trusts you so that you can put offers in front of them so they'll buy. Starting to make sense? Everything coming together now? Yeah. Absolutely. Gina, yes. I don't think we've talked yet. So, if we look at this, right, we've got the innovators, which are only 2.5% of your people, right? Early adopters, 13.5%, and then early majority, right, 35% of your audience. So, a lot of you guys are launching ads targeting these two groups, right, because you want them to buy right now. But there's only a small percentage of people who are going to buy right now. And these are the groups that most marketers are targeting, right? Everyone who targets these people, what do they say? Doesn't work. But what does it also say? My leads are low quality. They're not buying anything. Think about this. Does anyone in this room consider themselves a low quality lead? No. Right? Yes. Think about this. All of us have opted in for a freebie, right, on someone's email list. How many of you guys opt into stuff all the time and have never intention of buying from that person? But no one's opted into a thing that they had no intention of ever buying. And come on, I was Like, come on, free, like, right? We're opting in to get something for free, right? But think about this. Are any of you guys low quality leads? Why didn't you buy? They never put an offer that you wanted in front of you. But yet everyone complains about low quality leads. I guarantee you, it's if you think that you have low quality leads, that is not the issue. People don't buy for one of two reasons, and Lucas mentioned a little bit yesterday. One, they don't believe it works, right? But that's what case studies are for. That's what testimonials are for. That's all of the content that we're putting. It's going to make them believe that it works. But number two is even harder. They have to have the certainty that it will work for them, right? We were just talking with Dina yesterday. They have to have the certainty that it will work for them. And the best way to give someone certainty that it will work for them, what do you think? What do you think is the best way to give someone certainty that your methodology is going to work for them? Nope, all wrong. What is the fastest path to cash? It's the best way to give someone certainty that your system's going to work for them. Why? Because you're able to personalize it. I sat there last night with Dina and Alex. What did I do? I gave you certainty that this will work because I put in your offer and said, Dina, do this because of XYZ. I told Alex, hey, I've been there, do this, right? You probably left that conversation a lot clearer on what you needed to do, right? Yeah. Right? But it gave you more certainty than if I would have just put a piece of content and said, Alex, go watch this. What do you think would have been more effective? Conversations. And so that's why this entire ecosystem that is outlined here is built around having conversations with your customers. You will not see anything about creating any power offers or any type of offer in this book. Why? It is my macro belief that positioning far outweighs a 1 to 2 sentence offer. Even though a little purple book, and no knock on Hormozy, I love Hormozy, he's one of the only people I follow. But most of you guys can get results without an offer. As a matter of fact, how do I know? Because I didn't have an offer for 3 years. All I did was put out content, and what do you think happened? People came to me and said, can you do that for me? I never had a 1 to 2 sentence offer that was like, hey, I'll do your ads and guarantee you blah, 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 blah. So that's why it is my macro belief that positioning far outweighs putting out an offer. Now here's the thing, an offer will accelerate the process, right? If you have the right message in front of the right person at the right time, you are going to get an accelerated path to being able to make quick cash. I like doing this for the reason that all of you guys are sitting in the room right now. 1 Facebook post, 1 email, and all of you guys are here. Why? What, you don't love me? Yeah. Okay, so 1 person wanted to meet Nick, but all of you guys are here, right? I didn't have to talk you guys into coming. I didn't have to pull anyone's arm. I didn't have to run ads. I didn't have to do all of these things, right? If I would have went to one of the big gurus, what do you think they would have said that I needed to do to book out this event? Run ads. Yes, do a big webinar presentation and then upsell everyone into your event. 1 single Facebook post. How would your business change? And already, I know Scott Perry's sitting right here. He's actually in the book, by the way. One of my favorite success stories. Scott, how did it feel that knowing now you can make a single Facebook post when you need to generate a client? Yeah. It's reliable, right? Anytime that I need to fill, like right now, Lean on Laurel has like 17 people on the waiting list. It's a freaking awesome, amazing feeling once you've built an audience, not a following. You guys looked at my following? Like my followers on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram? I have less than 5,000 followers on Instagram. if you divide the amount of members in my revenue, I would say my Instagram, but yet I get DMs from so many people saying, I don't believe you say you are who you are because you only have 4,300 something followers. I don't know. I have less than 5,000 YouTube subscribers, which, by the way, Suzanne is gonna right there. Yeah, her and I, and it's actually gonna be a fun. Can I just tell them what we're gonna do? Yeah. So I've been doing YouTube by myself. Got myself pretty far, right? I would say, putting out content, power content, and all of this stuff. Well, we're gonna be doing an experiment over the next 3 months. We're gonna do it live. Because one of my favorite strategies to actually show people. And you guys know this. What's my favorite? Over the shoulder, build in public, right? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take my YouTube channel to the next level. I need help, but I have less than 5,000 YouTube subscribers right now. Stop looking at how many followers you have and start looking at building an audience of people who are going to actually engage with your content. Because you guys know, like, the people that pay for followers and subscribers, right? You can tell. You can tell. You go to someone's Instagram page and they have, like, 43,000 followers and, like, 2 or 3 likes per post or, like, something like that. You're like, oh, my God. Right? So, today, that's what we're going to do. But here's the thing. I am not one of those that's going to sit here and present. Right? That's so boring. Right? We're going to do things a little bit different, and for those of you guys who have been to one of Brandon's events and worked with me, looking at Travis and Laurel right here, what's my favorite thing to do? Workshop and put you guys to work. Wait, what'd you say? Yes. Yes. That too. I'm surprised we don't have a champagne fountain here today. But who's actually? What? You were excited about a champagne fountain? Angela! No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No. I have no idea what that is. Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Is that the consensus?
Yeah.
We're having a Laurel wine?
Stop on the grapes and all that stuff.
Someone actually said that last night. It should be Portie port. But it doesn't make sense, right, Nick? Why did that not make sense last night? I don't know. Someone says no, it can't be a port. I don't know.
It's the pretentious one.
We're so pretentious. Yes. Oh, okay. Learned hustlessness here. Maybe go Google it. But anyway, today we're gonna have some fun, right? Because who here right now has no idea what the fuck they're gonna say in their power content? Sweet, right? So would it serve you guys to just like workshop with you guys and just be like, cool? Yeah. Does everyone in this room know what power content is? Yes, no? Where's the eraser? Wait, who said don't ask me? I think that was Laura. Laura, what's power content? Laura, you spent 2 days with me doing power content.
Bits, 3 to 5 minutes. There is a structure to it that I can't
What's the
roll it off on time.
Yep, let's start with power content. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll just, as a reminder, because there are some people who are relatively new to my ecosystem, so I'm just going to kind of draw it out here. So I got power content, and then we've got some of you guys are going to be new to the conversion multiplier strategy.
I can see it.
Fuck, no, I'm kidding you. Okay, so does anyone know who your most profitable audience is when you're targeting on Facebook? Warm. But what do we have have to do first before we get to warm? Gotta go after the cold people, right? Gotta flirt with them. Yes. So there's two top of funnel or cold traffic for those of you guys who are new to the funnel terms. There are two strategies. Power content, which Laura just nailed, by the way. 3 to 5 minutes. What else about power content? 3 to 5 minutes. It has a certain framework. Who knows the first? Yeah, I say headline, but yeah. Promise of value. Scott, CTA. Well, and we'll workshop through this too. CTA. I'm testing you guys. See? Yes. Humble brag. Meat and potatoes, and I actually have a framework for this too, for this one. Yep, and then CTA again. Okay. Promise of value. Yep. Headline, promise of value, CTA, humble brag, meat and potatoes, and then your CTA again. And let's kind of talk about this for a little bit. So for those of you guys who don't know, my very first job in television, as a matter of fact, Suzanne had the same job as me at a different station before we knew each other. It was both of our jobs to get people to watch the 11 p.m. news. Freaking hard, right, Suzanne? Like, how freaking boring is the 11 o'clock news? Right? The CSI credits are rolling. It's Suzanne and I's job to do two things. Keep people from turning off that television. Super hard, but the hardest part, what is the hardest part of the next step? Not just only getting their attention, but doing what? Making them stay up. For 3 minutes of commercials. They're fighting sleep. Their husband or wife's like, come on, let's get freaky. As a matter of fact, my news director and Suzanne's news director, we used to joke about this, using this formula. He used to call it the keep honey waiting formula. And so I told you guys, this is not an internet marketing strategy. This is just advertising, right? We had to get their attention, and then we had to keep it. So, there was a water main break in Seattle. Water shooting everywhere, right? My news director wanted me to, air the water shooting everywhere. Would you say past 3 minutes? The best video is, right there. Is there a need for anyone to, stick around? So I was like Suzanne said, we used to go rogue all the time and just do whatever the hell we wanted and then just ask for forgiveness later. So I had to figure out a way to make it valuable for more than people in just that area. So I had to dig deeper. Where was the water main break? Well, off Interstate 5. What happens when they shut down Interstate 5 in Seattle? Does anyone know? No one has any place to go because it's one of the biggest highways in Seattle. And so my tease for that night, promise of value, is why you probably should set your alarm clock 2 hours early, otherwise you're going to be late for work tomorrow. All of a sudden, we have a story that was only relevant at that moment of time with this water main break, and all of a sudden, it's relevant to thousands of people. And I've given them a reason to stick around and watch the news. So, all of you guys who are in my $7 program, every time I see you guys do content and you're not following this formula, I want to slam my phone down because this is it's huge. A lot of you guys are starting your videos, hello everybody. Oh, I'm just going to wait for a couple of people to come on live. How are you guys doing? Oh, hi, Victor. Oh, yeah. Hi, Dina. Oh, hey, girl. Most people don't watch the live feed. You guys are guys are guilty of that.
Yeah.
Come on. Victor. Okay. See, context matters. Yeah. That's what I do. That's what I always wish I could do through Zoom, but now that he's in person, I can actually do it. No, most people watch your live videos later, right? And what do you have to get people to do? Watch your content, right? What does this kind of remind you of? The headline's only job is to get people to read the second line. The second line's job is to get people to watch the video. The CTA's job is to get people to take action. What does that remind you of? Yes. Rochelle hit it. It's a funnel. It is legit a funnel. And what a lot of you guys are doing, so the ad copy for your power content is just going to be headline, promise of value, CTA. A lot are putting way too much in your video's copy that people don't even have to watch the video. Right? If you're not getting video views, go and check your video and figure out, like, what is it, right? And we'll go over KPIs and how to measure this stuff. But right now, I just want you guys to understand that this structure works really well. Like, if you can't get people to watch your video, there's something in this element that's not working. One of the tricks that I learned by working in television is writing your promise of value first. Like, why should people watch the video? So, whenever I worked at CBS in Dallas, we were having issues getting people to actually stick around through the commercial break. And I was like, what if we just told them in the next X amount of minutes they're going to find out X, Y, Z? And so it became a thing at CBS 11 in Dallas. As a matter of fact, you guys go look up everything I'm talking about. My YouTube channel is the Promo Girl with 3 R's because I liked Riot Girl music at the time. But all my TV stuff is on a YouTube channel. And it was a franchise we called In the Next 10 Minutes. By golly, it worked. People were staying through the commercial because they knew in the next 10 minutes they were going to find the answers to these 3 things. That's why I had it in this formula. Promise of value. In the next 3 minutes, you're going to find out X, Y, Z. Because remember, this is for cold traffic, right? Cold. People don't know you yet. They don't trust you. And a lot of you guys are putting out 10-minute videos, which is fine if people are watching them, but this is the quickest way to catch them, right? Because we're trying to build that audience, right? That's right here. You can kind of see the faded lines right there. But that's why we're building something that's called the invisible list. Why do we call it the invisible list? Yes. You can't see their name. You can't see their email like a traditional opt-in. We call it an invisible list because Facebook or YouTube or TikTok is tracking the people who are watching that video. This strategy right here saved my agency clients' ass during the iOS update. Remember the iOS update? Oh my God. Armageddon. Right? Pixel. It saved all of my agency clients. Why? Because I was running power content. All of their audiences were being saved on platform, where everyone else was building audiences on a pixel. That pretty much crumbled. I saw so many businesses go under. They had to restart their funnels. It was horrible. As a matter of fact, I had an agency client who will remain nameless. She ignored what I wanted to do. I don't even see her online anymore. I think she disappeared. She didn't listen. It's important that we don't put all of our eggs in one basket ever. And so that's why I teach you guys that multi-strategy on multi-platforms, right? Because this is a strategy we don't just run on Facebook, we run it on YouTube. If my Facebook ad accounts get shut down, I don't care. You guys all see my YouTube ads, right? I probably follow the hell out of all of you guys. But I do it on platform actions. It's my favorite type of retargeting to do. So, power content. Does anyone have any questions about power content?
So this is completely just for video format, or you gotta turn this into your copy too?
Yeah, so this is video. So this is a video format. Now the copy that I of these is the headline, promise of value, CTA. Now, here's the thing. That was a really great question. You're going to notice that that's how I wrote my book. Headline, promise of value. Each of those chapters are named with a hook to get you to watch, to read. Yeah, so you see the promises of value underneath? Headline, promise of value. What'd you say? Of. Yep. Like for you or for? Let's just workshop right now since Zena asked the question. Okay, yeah. Throw that to her. Yes. Okay, cool. Did you guys hear us on Zoom? Yeah. Okay. Dina, what would you say is the number one question that your prospects have when you're talking to people in Messenger? The most common question that you get or problem that you solve?
And photographers need clients.
Yep, absolutely. What is the number one strategy that those people are doing that you just cringe? You're like, I can't believe they're doing that.
Well, they waste a lot of time posting on Instagram when they think that they'll get clients posting on Instagram.
Okay, perfect. So, what is the alternative way that you tell them to do it?
I teach them how to create an irresistible offer and a landing page, urgency, scarcity, limited edition sessions. Like I taught people how to shoot 40 women over 40 and you will never go broke, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Make an offer for women who can afford it, and the ones who can afford it are over 40.
Okay.
More likely than under.
Cool. So promise of value. So people are posting on Instagram and just hoping the clients are going to come to them, right?
Come in for a beautiful shoot. Come and feel beautiful. You're amazing. I offer beautiful portraits of women.
Okay.
I'm here to empower women, but it's very vague. There's no urgency, there's no scarcity, there's no offer, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So promise of value. So if we start with the meat and potatoes, let's show them the one change, right? So instead of posting, right, just posting sucks, but putting a landing page with an offer in your IG bio, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be the meat and potatoes of what you're going to teach, right? Promise of value. Give me, 4 minutes, and I'll show you how to make this one tweak to your Instagram bio that will land you 5 to 10 portrait clients a month. Headline,
Exactly what I teach.
right? Headline, we're meeting people where they are. She said they're trying to use Instagram. We could say something like, using Instagram to try to get photo clients. Yep. Here, you could say, using Instagram to get photo clients. Here's the one mistake most photographers make. Give me the next 3 minutes, and I'm going to show you the one tweak to make to your Instagram bio that's going to instantly attract 5 to 10 new photography clients each month. There you go.
Love it.
Now Dina can go home and do that video. Yeah. Right? And you know what she could easily do? You have software, right?
Yeah.
Do you have an affiliate link to that software?
Not yet.
You can make one, and that could be your freebie value bomb. Because let's say, so for instance, I used to do this. I do this with Kartra all the time. I'm like, hey, I've already built the funnel. It's in my Kartra account. All you have to do, I'll give you the funnel. But guess what they have to do? Sign up for an affiliate account, and boom, you get affiliate commissions. Or you can give them, if you want to give them a value bomb, you can give them a checklist to actually implementing this with a call to action. I want to do this. My team will do it for $500. Yeah. Was that a good example?
Yeah. Perfect.
Cool. Who else is like, I have no idea what I'm going to do? Right here.
so let's stay on the Instagram topic, but I'm actually, so I have memberships and I specialize in growing your Instagram, and my higher tier is to grow your audience. And all what I hear from my potential members, my potential clients, is just the same thing. They want followers. And I'm like,
what are they? Do they need followers, or what do they actually need?
I know, that's what I teach them, but the cold people, I can't really tell them, like, you need followers so that.
Meet them where they are. Everyone who's coming in, they want followers. So let's lure them in with that, right?
Yeah.
So what is the meat and potatoes that you want to show them?
What's possible with these followers?
So tell me a little bit more. What's the actual outcome, like in mechanism that you're using to?
Okay, so I show them that they don't need a huge amount of followers to get more clients and to grow their business.
How many Instagram followers did you have when you first started getting clients, or a majority of your clients? How many followers do you need?
Yeah, just like few thousand.
Yeah. So one of my most successful videos back in the day was how I made my first $10,000 with less than 100 followers on Instagram.
Nice.
Can use that same thing, like how my clients are signing or are selling their membership, with a low following. Mm-hmm. So what is it that we're trying to get them? So meat and potatoes, right?
So you're going to coaches and business owners.
Okay. Coaches and business owners. And so you're going to show them the, what did we say? How much are their memberships?
It's $727.97.
$727.97, like this?
No,
That's her membership.
my membership.
Is $727?
No, $7 a month, $27 a month.
Oh, okay. I was like, cool, that's a very, Okay, so it's $7 a month. But how much are the average memberships that your clients are coming in selling? Like random?
Oh no, they have like businesses.
Are they trying to sell high ticket, or what are they trying to do?
One-on-one sessions, digital products, the whole offer suite.
What is their goal income wise?
Okay, they want to, like, they want the content to like actually work for them, because it goes nowhere, and they put so much time into creating content, and actually there are no results.
Okay. So basically, are you going to show them this content plan? So you can say something like, promise value is already in my head, right? I already know. You can say, give me 5 minutes, and you can swipe my content plan that has allowed me to make $10,000 to $15,000 consistently every single month with less than 100 followers, 1,000 followers, right? Promise of value. Now, it's Instagram, right?
Yes.
Trying to get clients on Instagram, here's what 6- and 7-figure earners are doing that most people don't know, or something like that, right? Ooh, lean in, right? What do they know that you don't know? Give me 5 minutes, and I'm going to show you the content strategy that allows me to consistently enroll high-ticket clients with a very limited amount of followers. As a thank you for watching this video, I'll give you the checklist step by step that will allow you to immediately implement the strategy that I'm about to teach you. Drop me a line below this video, and I'll give it to you for free. Why do I do a value bomb? Why do I give something away for free? Mm-hmm. So whenever I first started going live every single day, the first 60 or 70 days, wasn't getting a lot of views, I wasn't getting a lot of reach. Who remembers back in the MLM marketing days? Lucy. So they used to do these things called comment ladders. You guys remember that? Multi-level marketers, they'd be like, comment below this if you want this. And so I was like, that's an interesting tactic. I was like, what if I my power content formula to get more people to watch my videos, because the more people comment, the more Facebook shows my video to people, right? And so testing that for a week, I was like, rad, this works really, really well. And then some of my early students, I would tell them, I was like, a week later, go back and make a comment. I would always purposefully not give one person the cheat sheet or the value bomb. And I'd go back and comment. I'd be like, did I get everybody? What did that do? It put the video back in the newsfeed, and more people were commenting. My students deemed it the resurrection strategy. I have videos in the newsfeed right now that have been in the newsfeed since January because of this, because of the value bomb. Super, super powerful way to have conversations. It's a stealth way, as Nick would say. It's very stealth, right? Mm-hmm. And just so we're clear, that freebie does not contain any type of opt-in. That's where people, this is goodwill.
So it's just a comment.
Mm-hmm.
No call to action.
Drop a line below, yeah. But then you can have a call to action in the value bomb. There's a framework, though, because the number one mistake that people do is they just, he's like, don't throw a marker at me. Why do I not, as soon as someone comments on this, so here's the thing, I'm gonna really go slow because this is a nuance, so people are commenting, right, that they want this. My structure is I go back and comment on that person's comment saying, hey, I'm gonna send you this in Messenger. Right? Why am I doing that? A couple of things, right? It puts it back in the news feed, but it also tells that person to expect something in their messenger. Yes. A lot of people miss that step, okay? So I go into Messenger. Why do I not just deliver? Why do I not just deliver the value bomb in Messenger? Does anyone know other than Victor? Something more important, though. Yes. Someone been listening. Might not be the right thing for them. Exactly.
It's not the right road.
Remember, yes, you want to meet them where you are. This strategy is meant, the way that I look at it, is what is the most immediate problem that I can solve in the next 10 minutes and pretend like someone just paid me $500 to solve it. Yes. My Messenger framework is super easy. Every time I go into Messenger, my whole goal is to solve their most immediate problem in the next 10 minutes and pretend like they just paid me $500 to do it.
An example of like, so they can obviously use it and how do you start that conversation?
Yeah.
And also, are we talking about Instagram DMs or Facebook Messenger?
It doesn't matter. That's the beauty. One of the things, like everyone pick this up right now. Everyone pick up the book and look through it. What is the one thing that you guys don't really see a lot of? Yes. Yeah. So if you look through it, you'll notice that I'm not really dominant on one platform. Why? This is a strategy that will work everywhere. Yes. If I would have put screenshots of ads managers and all of that stuff, that book would have been outdated before I even printed it. What I want you guys to leave this event knowing is that you can go and execute this on any freaking platform. Like if you were a musician hanging out on musicians' message boards, you could execute this strategy. If you're hanging out on Nextdoor, you could execute this strategy. Right? I did that on purpose because I want you guys to understand this isn't a strategy. Remember yesterday we talked about strategy, tactics, and all of that fun stuff? Platforms are tactics. This right here is a strategy. This strategy is hundreds of years old. Hundreds. Radio, over 100 years old, right? TV, now over 100 years old, I'm sure. Newspaper, hundreds of years old. Billboards. Facebook ads are just billboards, digital billboards. I know that's kind of a little tangent off from her question, but you can execute this anywhere. Anywhere you're having conversations with people. As a matter of fact, you can execute it here at this event, right? Last night, I was pretty much doing this with you guys outside while we were drinking wine, right? I helped her solve a problem, helped Dina solve a problem. Yeah. So start off the conversation. First thing you have to do is tell them why you're messaging them, because I guarantee you they will forget. People see squirrels. Don't just go and drop this as spam, and Facebook will actually put you in jail, right? If you just go and spam a whole bunch of people the link. Start the conversation, hey, I saw that you're having issues with XYZ and you asked for my value bomb. Now, I have a lot of free resources, and I'm not sure that this one might not be the one that you actually need right now, so can you tell me which of the following scenarios actually fits you best? And I always give them choices. I never say, what can I help you with or anything. Never ask open-ended questions. They do not know how to answer them. Always give them choices. Yep, exactly. So which of the following scenarios fits you best? A, B, or C? And then more than likely, and this is something that happens with me, 9 out of the 10 people who ask me for a value bomb, that's not what they need at that moment in time. And so I'm able to actually give them, and a lot of times, guys, I don't even have a value bomb ready. I literally build value bombs as I'm talking to that person. Loom, Peter knows this. Loom and Google Docs are my best friend. I could probably sell my Loom videos for a lot of money in there. But I literally, like what I'm doing with you guys, this is how I do it in Messenger. Like I extract information from people, I build them something on a Google Doc, and then I send them a quick Loom video. But here's the important thing, okay? This is something that I learned from Dan Henry, total transparency. This value bomb needs to solve that most immediate problem, but expose an even bigger problem. That's where a lot of people go wrong. And that's why people don't move forward in the sales process, is because you're not exposing the bigger problem that they need help with.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Basically creating a customized lead magnet for that person.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'll actually tell you guys something really funny. Half the time whenever I do my videos, I have not even created the value bomb yet.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I won't even need it, because I'll get an instant feedback loop from people who are commenting on my videos. So I'm building my value bombs based on what people are telling me in Messenger. Oh.
That piece that you mentioned about solve the immediate problem and show how it reveals a larger problem. Are you doing that in that conversation? And can you give us an example?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say Brandon is trying to get people for him to write their books for them, right? And he might discover that after talking with people, they don't even know where to start to send to publishers or whatever. And his value bomb is a list of all of the email addresses of publishers who are looking for case studies for free book writing, right? Hey, don't have a lot of money to write your book? I'll show you how to get your book written completely for free, right? Drop me a line below this video and I will give you a value bomb that contains 10 to 50 people who are looking for case studies who will write your book for free. Who would not take that value bomb, right? Okay, so they have the email addresses of people who will write the book for free. There's an even bigger problem, right? Because now they have to actually go and diagram and framework out the book. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, they have all of the email addresses of people, but they still have to, exactly, they have to go and get the book published and written and all of that other stuff, and it reveals the bigger problem. Yeah, I have all of this. We'll write, we'll write and publish the book or whatever, but it creates a bigger problem. For instance, right? So one of my students actually, she's a salesperson, and she's trying to get people to hire her so that she can coach them on sales calls. She's a student in my Lean on Laurel program, and she found out through her content that most people were not actually who were in her audience weren't actually getting enough phone calls for her to help them. So I helped her create a value bomb. I gave her my $5, ad strategy to book more calls. That was her value bomb. Now she has all of these. Now her clients have all of these leads. Now what do they need to do? Yes, get them onto a phone call, right? It's easy to have messenger conversations, but if you can't move someone from messenger to a phone call, that's a big problem. But she got the momentum by giving them the value bomb. And so they're like, oh, she just got me all these leads within a week. What do you think if I work with her, she'll let me close them? It's the natural, so you want it to be like the natural next step to do, right? So most of the time when people are in Messenger, actually, there's a couple of people in here who came into my world this way. Does anyone ever remember, Dina, do you remember our first Messenger conversation? It's been a long time. Dina's been with me a couple of years. But there's someone in here that messaged me, and I went through my entire ad strategy with them, and I was like, yeah, just go do this. And they were like, can you help me? Because people are so afraid. They're like, I don't want to do it wrong. And they're like, I don't want to do it myself. Right? But I gave them complete clarity. I showed them, right? I had a conversation. I gave them certainty that it would work for them. And so that's, like I said, every time I approach a messenger conversation, I'm always trying to drive people to that conversation, right? Now, a lot of people are like, Laurel, that's fine and dandy for the coaching space. How do I apply this to local businesses, right? That's all. So what do you think would happen? I'll actually give you guys a direct example. So one of my friends from high school, he owns a restaurant in the little town that I live in. And he came to me and was like, hey, I need marketing help. And of course, as a way to give back, I do ads in my local community for free for small business owners. And people are like, well, how do I do power content for stuff like that? Well, there's always some type of little interesting piece of content. And so one day he was talking about this. So he sells crawfish and boiled crawfish. Have you guys ever had boiled crawfish? What happens after you eat crawfish? Your hands, right? What happens? They stink, right? And it's hard to get that off. So Burton started talking about a crawfish jacuzzi. The hell is that? He designed a way to pre-soak the crawfish so that after you eat them, your hands don't stink. What do you think power content I would do? Right? Now, what do you think would happen? Would be like, well, what do you give away for a value bomb? Let's say Burton would say, who here wants to try my crawfish for free? I will give you £1. Just drop me a line below this video, and I'll give you a coupon for a free pound of crawfish. Which, by the way, is not very much crawfish, right? It would cost him very little. But take it one step further, getting the people to show up is even harder, right? Because brick and mortar, you've got to get them to walk through the door. How powerful do you think it would be if someone acting as the restaurant owner, or even the restaurant owner himself, personally delivered that coupon in Messenger? Do you think the odds of people showing up to the restaurant would go up? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Conversations, fastest path to cash. What does Facebook want us to do? Be social. That's why I built my ad strategies around exactly what Facebook wants us to do, is be social. That's why it works so well. We're going to talk about something that's called pipeline equity. And that's exactly what my strategy is built around. Does anyone know what pipeline equity is? Yes. Fun fact, that's why there's 3 power content videos. I read that book and I designed the 3 power content videos as jab, jab, jab. after reading Gary Vaynerchuk's book, one of the very first books I ever read. So pipeline equity says you always want your goodwill meter like this, and your sales meter to be like this, right? Do you think after I sold out this event with a single Facebook post, what do you think happened? Well, yes, but yes. So over the last several months, I've been trying to replenish it. So that's why I haven't promoted anything. I'm right now building back up my goodwill content. So pipeline equity, you always want, this is the way that I did, and this is just, again, from television. Commercials are what, 25% of programming, right? But without commercials, we can't run the television station, right? So that's why I like a 75% to 25% ratio. But what happens if you don't pitch all the time? You don't make money, right? Told you we weren't going to talk about offers here, right? That's the offer, direct offer. Everything in this ecosystem is goodwill content, but it's stealth. Why? Yes. So we're able to pitch 100% of the time while keeping our goodwill meter much higher than sales. How many of you guys follow people online? You don't even stop at their posts anymore because every time they post, it's a pitch. And you just like scroll right past it. Yeah. How many of you guys, anytime you guys see one of my pieces of content, you stop? You at least stop and check it out. Why? Yeah. Exactly. Y'all know that that most of my content is not a direct pitch. Most of it, I never forget, one of my $7 students actually commented on one of my ads, and she was like, I don't understand why this ad is doing so well. Like, how are people stopping the scroll? Because she was looking at my page transparency ads, and she was like trying to funnel hack me, right? Like, yeah, she was trying to reverse engineer what I was doing. But what does the page transparency not tell you? We looked at page transparency yesterday, right? But what does that not tell you? Yeah, who it's going to, right? Like, all of you guys just said that you stop every time you see my content and watch, because you guys know that most of my content is long form, some type of clarity piece, right? And very little of this. So that's what we want to happen. But because of this framework, we're able to 100% all the time have sales conversations. Does that make sense? Any questions?
So when you boost, like, post, and it has a little whole thing, do you usually just go for, like, messages now?
So it depends. I only boost to warm. I never boost to cold. Boosting posts is a retargeting strategy in my playbook. So if you'll go through it, it'll actually have like the entire strategy. Like I said, we'll go through the whole strategy, but boosted posts I consider as a weekly updated ads, right? Because like, let's say you're running this entire ecosystem, right? The main thing that we want to do here, yes, this will drive conversations, but it doesn't always happen fast. Sometimes it will give a quick win. The main job of this is to get people to watch, that was an ugly percentage sign, 25%, right? Students all the time come to me and they're like, no one's commenting. That is completely normal. The main goal is to get this. Why? Because we're building an invisible list. But here's the thing. In some cases, I think, Scott, you had a quick win. I know Anthony had a quick win with his power content. So one of my very first Lean on Laurel students, like back in like 3 years ago, Anthony, he launched a single $5 power content video, and he gave away a resume template with $5 ads, sold out his first 6 slots in his high ticket program with $5 ads. He ran them for 4 days. It was $20 and made $11,000. Super duper profitable ads, right? But it does, like I said, it doesn't always happen that fast. So can't take y'all anywhere. So I'll tell. So there's another strategy, right? Because maybe the conversations aren't happening here. I'm gonna tell you guys a little backstory though. So we'll go back to the agency, my agency clients, and I'll tell you how I came up with this. So I had an agency client who was running a webinar funnel, and it worked like clockwork for like 2.5 years. Easiest agency client ever, collected the money, made her 6 figures every single year. Right? I mean, every single month. 6 figures a month, right? Like clockwork. Never had to touch it. One day, it just all stopped. No one was watching the webinar. No one was booking calls. And I'm like, crap, I gotta do some work. And so I was like, man, and she's like freaking out because she needs to pay her sales team. She needs to pay this. Why is no one watching the webinar? And so I was like, okay, how can we capitalize on leads? Because this strategy was working really well for getting conversations. I was like, we had a lot of people opting into her webinar. That's not the problem. People want the information that's in the webinar. So what I did was I broke her webinar up into 3 60-second reels and offered a value bomb that laid out all of the different frameworks inside that webinar. And I ran these for $5 a piece. Now, I only ran them to the leads that had opted into her webinar. So we were capitalizing on leads we had already paid Facebook for. We recovered over 200 plus triage calls in a single weekend. I was like, that's cool. So, you'll see in my strategy that her conversion multipliers were here for warm traffic, right? But if you don't have warm traffic, what can you do? So I started testing them cold. What do you think happened? All of the people who aren't getting conversations from here, we're getting them here. So now for cold traffic, we're building our goodwill content here, and we're promoting the value bomb here. So we're utilizing a 60-second shorts video that focuses on just the value bomb, right?
So are you still offering value bomb?
Yes. So two places. So Alex Hormozy, right? Everyone loves Alex. I love Alex. Like I said, he's one of the only people that I follow still. I find it funny that so many people who want clients are doing his shorts strategy. Does anyone know why Alex does the shorts strategy, the video? For impressions. He wants eyeballs. What do you guys want? Clients. What does Alex always say in every piece of content? I have nothing to sell you. So why are so many people using a strategy that's meant for eyeballs to try to get clients? So we just take a spin on it, and instead of doing the shorts the way that Alex does it, we create shorts that are going to create those conversations so that we can get cash.
So then on those, those 3 short ones that you create.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. Want to be too long?
Where's the box? Oh, it's over here. Where's my people?
Yeah.
Slackers! They're drinking the Laurel wine.
Okay, so the question that I have for you, Laurel, is on those 3 pieces of shorts that you're going to put in front of, your warm audience in this time, what is the call to action over there now? Is it to download what you initially offered, or like on the webinar, that you had
Conversation
physical-
straight to Messenger.
Oh, those are still conversations.
That's how we were. So whenever I ran them for her, we ran them middle of funnel, and she had a call center sitting in Messenger, just moving all of those people onto a triage call.
So that is where I can just put the comment A, B, C to,
Correct.
we get what they need. Okay.
In 100%. Like my whole goal though, this is a quick win. Like if you guys are in either the $7 program or Lean on Laurel, I use this as a quick win because if you don't have a validated offer, you need to have as many freaking conversations as possible.
And what is the optimization? Which campaign objective do you use?
I use engagement optimized for Messenger.
Okay.
That's what I use. You could also use leads optimized for Messenger. Or there's different.
Are you doing it for Messenger or just straight comment and then hit?
So if you're doing engagement, you could do on ad. Like this is my thing. So some people like going straight to Messenger because they feel like their clients or prospects aren't going to comment on the post. I always say test both though, because comments will give you that algorithm boost of social proof, right? And so I always say test both. And because people always think that, oh, people won't comment for fitness or stuff because they'll be embarrassed. They work so well for fitness, like commenting on stuff. Now, some people if you have I don't know, we use it for infertility. Like you would think that infertility people wouldn't comment, they do all the time. As a matter of fact, the client that I'm referring to is an infertility coach that I'm talking about right now. But I always say try it. So engagement optimized for on the ad if you want comments. Engagement optimized for Messenger if you want to go direct to Messenger. But here's something that I've learned though. How many of you guys have ever tried running a Messenger ad? You just got junk messages. That's what I don't like about it. But it is a volume game in that case though. Because remember, there's no friction here. If you're sending people straight from that to a Messenger campaign, there's no friction. It's just a click of a button. So you're going to get all these low quality Yahoos that are just clicking just to click, right? Whereas if someone's commenting, they're likely a much better lead. Mm-hmm. For on the ad. Mm-hmm. So engagement, and then it'll give you a choice whether you want video views on your ad, and I figure it's something else. If I'm doing Messenger, I will use the Messenger little thing that Facebook Ads gives you to do it, but I love the comment stuff. I love the social proof. I'm always going to do the strategy that's going to give me the most social proof. Yeah. Oh, box. Box.
If you run the ad to the comments, then isn't that really high maintenance? Do you have to sit there on the computer all day and watch your comments, or how do you handle it?
If you need clients and you need money, would you sit there on the computer and talk to people who have money?
I'm just, yes, but are you doing it once an hour? Are you checking back in? Does it lose people?
Great question. No, I know we laugh, but it is a really great question. One of the things that I do is, and this is, by the way, this is something I still do. Why? Because it makes me money, right? I'm never gonna give or automate something that makes me money, because why would I risk that, right? That's the one thing that makes me, that my business, ever since I started my business and working with Nick, my business has nothing but grown because I continue to do the boring stuff. Alex, you and I were talking about this. Who here would get bored with this and they're like, oh, I'm going to get Rita and build me a chat bot to take over, right? Yeah. You still can. No, I'm not discounting anything. I'm not discounting anything that Rita does, but when you need cash, Rita's expensive, right? If they need cash, right? That's a strategy for scale, not when you need cash flow. So that's something you always have to keep in mind. Yes, it does but here's when I do it. I do it when I'm in the car, not when I'm driving. I don't like to drive. I do it when I'm on the plane. I do it anytime I'm sitting in the doctor's office. Christina will be like, yeah, you're going to do your two-step. We'd laugh. She's like, you're going to do your two-step? I'm like, yeah. But that's when I do it. I find the time because this is literally the lifeblood of my business. Talking to you guys is literally the lifeblood of my business. And so,
Laurel,
yes, there's automated ways to do this. Yes,
I have a question that is kind of relevant on what you're saying. Okay, so this has been very helpful, and I haven't been to many of these, so this is amazing. So my question has to do with Messenger. Power content videos, Laurel helped me, they're great, and I haven't really changed it much, and I get a lot of conversations, but when I get to Messenger and I give them the value bomb, so I'm an independent college counselor, I've been doing this forever, and I give them a roadmap. So if you're a parent trying to navigate high school to college with your kid, it spells it all out, fall, winter, spring, summer, pretty simple. That's my value bomb, and it's pretty significant. So I give it to them, and then I think I asked you once before. Then we start a little conversation, like, follow up or try to engage, and it's a lot of work. When you're sending a messenger, you literally want to, I'd rather have a root canal, but I know I have to do it, so I just keep at it. My question to you is, I will get the momentum and they'll schedule a call, which I'm like, amen, there we go, let's go. But then a lot of times it's, I got what I wanted.
Yep.
And I'm trying to figure out ways, like different, quick little, you need me, kind of thing, because I have really great price points. So I'm not charging thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to coach you through college. So can you speak to that?
100%. That is such a great freaking question. So remember how we were just talking about, it's not just about giving them the value bomb. We have to, in that value bomb, expose the bigger problem, right? So let's say you give them the junior checklist. After they complete the junior checklist, what is that next big thing that they actually have to do? Probably a lot of freaking work, right? Whenever they say they got what they need, what exactly are they saying?
So they're not getting a checklist, actually, they're getting the roadmap, which is really lengthy. So it might need to be, I trim it down. So it's more like box, and it's like, have you gone through 1 through 30, 1 through 20?
Yep.
Maybe have more quantifiable sections.
Yes, 100%.
Hey, this is my roadmap, actually. This is kind of
Oh my God. You're giving them way too much information. Yeah.
But it's a lot.
So a good value bomb is going to quickly, remember, in the next 10 minutes, solve their most immediate problem. So I would give them the junior checklist and then send them a Loom video and be like, here's what you need to do to accomplish this. Let them know how much work. What if I could help you guys do all of this in a 60-minute or 90-minute or however long call?
Yeah.
I will save you X amount of time if you take this call. It's only $4.97.
So I trim down that, and then, so then I send that out. Now, in terms of, do you usually have, when you started way back when, did you maybe 3 or 4 dialogues that you would use that were building traction, creative, and interest?
100%. So the reason that I have you guys do power content, we're going to talk about, and actually Nick's going to talk about some of the middle funnel content as well. One of the reasons that I want you guys, and I know we were making fun of, shorts and stuff like that, super, super profitable strategy, but a lot of people are using shorts as a way so that they don't have to do long form content, right? Because shorts are easy, 60 seconds. But what's going to aid in the messenger conversation? So whenever I have messenger conversations now, I don't have to have very lengthy messenger conversations because I've created content around everything that I've been talking about in Messenger. So instead of having the same conversation over and over again, I'm sending them long-form content. They always tell you, right, if you can get someone to spend 3 or 4 hours with you, you've got them. They're going to buy something. So that's why we want to do longer-form content, so that when we're having messenger conversations, we can maneuver through objections, we can maneuver through false beliefs, we can maneuver through all of that in a leveraged way, right? Because like Dr. Ed said, it takes a lot of time. But what if a lot of the questions that you're answering were already in a video that you could just send them and say, hey, I hear your problem. I just solved this with another client. Here's a 10-minute video.
I didn't know how much I take. That's why I was asking, within blocks, how do you hear your existing clients, how people are scheduling?
Yeah. No, it does take up a lot of time, but it's so worth it because I guarantee if everyone here, how many of you guys need clients right now? Really need clients, and are willing to have conversations, right? I guarantee If you get 100 messenger conversations, do you not believe that you can close at least 5 of them? It's just a solvable problem, right? Nick talks about solvable problem. Dan Nicholson talks about solvable problem. You hear me say that all the time. Scott, whenever we were working on your strategy, Scott came to me brand new. I'll tell you guys, do you mind if I tell them a little bit about one of my Scott is my favorite type of client. Like, this is why I do this kind of thing, because he came to me. He has a great background. He worked with Seth Godin many years. He just had a brand new grandson, like, right? Awesome. And he's like, I don't need to make $1 gazillion. He's like, if I could just make like $5,000, I'd have all my bills paid, and me and my wife can babysit our brand new grandson and be the babysitters, right? And he had a very realistical goal. And for 90 days, what did we just focus on? Right. Well, offer validation and what did we need to get though to do that? Conversations. I told Scott to do nothing but focus on conversations for 90 days. Then after those 90 days, what did we all of a sudden have? X amount of posts led to X amount of comments, led to X amount of messenger conversations, led to X amount of calls, led to X amount of sales. There were 2 holes. Do you remember those 2 holes? Yeah. So at the end, we actually had a solvable problem, because he knew if he did X amount of posts, he would get X amount of comments, and he could actually go back to those posts and see which of those had the most comments and do more of those. But what we outlined was, well, he only had, what was it, like an 8% close rate? It was sort of low. Yeah, we wanted it to be 20%. And I looked at Scott and I said, we could do 1 of 2 things. What would you rather focus on for the next 90 days? Getting more comments and having more messenger conversations, or could I send you to one of the best people in sales and up your sales conversation? Which 2 would you guys pick? Having more messenger conversations or fixing his sales issue? How many of you guys actually take a look at your data that you're getting on social media, right? A few of you guys. But wasn't that so easy? Like, once we had, like, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's so much work keeping track of all those posts. But look how easy it was for me to, like, do one simple exercise with Scott and able to pinpoint. There's 2 options. We can do more posts and you can keep your sales rate where it is. You're still going to meet your goal, but you're going to need more volume. Or do we fix the part where he's having the sales conversations and just getting better at sales? Less work, leverage, right? So that's why I designed this system. But here's the thing. So we have this entire ecosystem, right? So we're building up our warm audience. We have conversion multipliers here that are also generating conversations. Which of the 2 do you think these conversion multipliers are going to lead to more quality conversations, or these? Warm audience. Right. Who do you think is going to not ghost you? Here's the thing. Yes, you're going to get a lot of low-quality leads, but you're going to get the volume that you need to have those conversations, right? You ever hear about, like, those direct outreach marketers? They will send 1,000 emails to get 10 people on a call. But they know with reliability if they send 1,000 emails, so they're okay with doing it because they know that they're going to get that kind of the same way, right? But once you have a warm audience, we kill this up here, and we just run it down here. Here's the thing, someone like Victor, though, who has call setters and stuff in his agency, y'all probably still love it up here, huh? Yeah. For fitness clients, keeping these conversion multipliers up there because it gives lead flow to their call setters. But for the most part, I tell my clients not to worry about those. We move it down here, right? Someone asked about boosted post. I recommend posting 3 times a week on your business page and boosting it to the people who are already watching your content. And then we have something that's called the Hot 7, which we'll talk about later. That's the ecosystem. Let me ask you a question. Because I told you inside that little book, there's no talk about offers. So let's say you're running power content. You have your Hot 7 retargeting. You have your boosted post. You have your conversion multipliers. Now you want to automate it. What do you now know? Once you've had all these conversations. Oh, royalty in the house. My very first mentor in the back, Chad Thibodeau. I literally, guys, would not be standing here if it wasn't for him. Yep. this one question and we'll break here for a little bit. What do we now have validated in order to automate this? We know what content works, but also what constitutes as a good lead magnet, which value bomb got the most conversations and sales conversations. So now, what do you think happens when we put a VSL or a webinar right here with the ecosystem already running? All of our holes are plugged. So any leads that don't follow through and book a call, they're going to fall right into your ecosystem to get stopped until they actually book a call. So that's why when people come into the program, I don't focus on helping them build a webinar or VSL. I help them focus on doing this so that they can actually validate what works before building a very expensive funnel and ad strategy. Because I'm not here to tell you guys that webinar strategies and that don't work. They do. They work really, really well, but only for people who've gone through this process to know exactly what works. How many of you guys know someone, or you yourself have spent tens of thousands of dollars to get leads to a webinar for no one to buy? Happens all the freaking time. What would happen if you did a webinar based on all the data that you had in this 90-day period? Yep. Any questions before we take a break? Alex. You guys are going to laugh. I think I talked about this last night. Or I don't know who I was talking to. Do you remember my messenger follow-up strategy? Yeah, I do messenger roulette. Which I got so many inbound leads. I'm like, because I do this all the time, so I have a whole bunch of leads, sitting there. Last night, someone asked me the question, how did you sell out your $7 program? This guy over here helped me create a high-ticket offer and helped me book out my agency. What do you think I had sitting in Messenger? 2,000 to 3,000 people I had already had a conversation with was like, well, you can't afford my high ticket, you can't afford agency. I have another option that I'm going to try for 90 days. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but it's $7 a month. Who's in? All my sales, like 400 sales within a weekend. A lot of people think I started with a $7 program. And Chad will tell you this last thing I built. Any questions? So see, it works for low ticket too. I don't recommend it. You can. I don't recommend it. Anytime I get a client, I'm like, what is the one thing we want to accomplish over the 90 days? And we go all in on that one thing. Because when you need cash flow, you need cash flow. And if you need cash flow, a low ticket offer is the worst thing that you can launch. He knows. Cool. Everyone ready to break?
We got a 15-minute break. So please be back. We've got one more session, and then one of our partners is going to come in and do 10 to 15-minute prep work right before lunch.
And then other than that, go and be merry. Pew pew. Pew pew. You have it.